Moving ahead with the next session on optimizing dev productivity, visibility, efficiency, and AI-infused observability with Datadog. For that, we have Mr. Saurabh Kothari, Enterprise Solution Engineer at Datadog. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Saurabh? Saurabh is an enterprise solution engineer with expertise in cloud technologies, data centers, server virtualization, DevOps infrastructure as code, FinOps, and observability. He is dedicated to solving customer challenges by delivering impactful solutions and collaborating with cross-functional teams. With experience in technical support, professional services, customer success, and technical sales, Saurabh stays current with emerging technologies through ongoing learning and experimentation. Please put your hands together for Mr. Saurabh. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible, loud and clear? Perfect. Thank you. Okay. All right, while this starts to work, right, so my name is Saurabh, and I'm a senior solutions engineer for the enterprise business with Datadog. Have been in the industry for 1.5 decades, solving observability, monitoring, automation-related challenges, and now segueing into DevOps and AI Ops. The next 15 to 20 minutes will be around how do we solve observability challenges, right, which is quite complicated in nature, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the room is connected to one part of the problem in some way or the other. Now, why are we doing observability to start off with, right? Like, why do we bring any changes into our organization? Why are we going into AI? Why are we going into the next level of observability or monitoring per se, right? So there are a couple of areas with which you would definitely be interested in terms of maybe seeking a transformation of sorts, right? Getting your customers at the core of your business, trying to solve problems for the customer so that in turn the revenue and other business KPIs start to see an upward trend. Or it could be cost reduction, right? At the end of the day, we are trying to run lean business machines, which means FinOps or cost is again at the center of all discussions happening around the globe per se, but specifically in India, right? We're a price sensitive market and we want to run operations as lean as possible. Now, how does Datadog come into the picture, right? So Datadog is an observability platform, right? I would try and stress a lot on the word platform because it is not a point-in-time solution or a tool which is just solving one part of your problem, right? And how do we do that? We start with the platform approach. So we have solved the problem of having a single data model, right? What do I mean by that? A single platform can ingest data across your verticals as far as your business is concerned, whether it is infrastructure, applications, security, CI/CD, AI, ML-based observability, or observing your LLMs, right? Or observing your AI-based chat ops or agentic AIs for that matter. It's something that we do on a single platform, right? You may have heard the word unified plane of glass or unified pane of glass, right? A lot of times. Datadog truly delivers that because it's going to be a single UI all through your entire observability journey, whether it is at the dev level, whether it is at the ops level, whether it's a security level, or whether it's an AI level. We bring in multiple layers of integrations. So right now we do support more than 900 odd integrations, which means there are third-party products that you can instantly connect to Datadog. There are a lot of custom webhooks that we provide out of the box for you to plug in your own solutions as well, right? Now, what do we do on top of that? We have the digital experience monitoring piece, right? When the customer is at the center of the business, it is very important to also ensure what the customer is experiencing in real time, right? If I am using an application on my phone or on my browser, I need to have a good experience, right? Now, how do you define that? How do you really ensure that I, as an end user of your business, is having a good experience? We can solve that problem by having a digital experience monitoring, which will ensure that you have an end-to-end view of the entire user journey, where exactly the user is having a problem, why that problem is at the first place, and how do you go about solving those problems, right? So not only identification of the problem, but also helping you define a root cause analysis of that particular problem is something that Datadog can help you. Shifting left, my colleague Sandeep mentioned about shifting left into the paradigm, right, where we now bringing software delivery stack into observability, right, wherein we can help you understand the health of your pipelines, right, whether you're using GitHub, Autopilot, you're using Jenkins, you're using any kind of software delivery suite. Datadog can help you observe the health of that particular suite as well, so that the software that is getting pushed into production or development, UAT, staging, goes through a health check before it is pushed into those environments. And of course, you need to be aware of what's happening in your own system. With that in mind, we have a lot of alerting, notifications, channels that we can support out of the box for you, so that if there is a chat ops that you're currently working with, right, you have an LLM, let's say an OpenAI LLM, how do you know what are the tokens that have been consumed by that particular application? Or if a particular user is not getting the response in the right time with that particular chat ops, right? So all of that is something that gets streamlined into your own chat ops ecosystem, right? Whether it is Teams, Slack, emails, or any other webhook that you'd like to get information on, Datadog can help you do that. And of course, the metadata is very important. Now, you would argue that all these pillars that I've talked about so far belongs to individual teams or individuals into my organization, right? Now, how do I bring everybody on the common page? We do take help of metadata, which are like tags in nature. Everybody understands the concept of tags, right? Everybody uses tags internally. There is a dev tag, there is a prod tag, there could be a dev 01 tag, right? And stuff like that. We can bring all of those metadata from your systems into the platform so that you can slice and dice the information on a common layer, which is Datadog. And these are the capabilities that you receive out of the box, right? Which means whether it is observing your systems, whether it is an infrastructure, whether it is APM, whether it is logs, right? Whether it is databases, you get all the support out of the box, whether it is real user monitoring, synthetic monitoring, or your software delivery stack that I talked about, the CI visibility, test optimization, continuous testing. And to top it all, we do have service management capabilities also baked into the product. So if you are aware about the term on-call, right, we do have like escalation metrics. If an issue comes, how do I route that issue to a correct team? How that correct team starts to evaluate what is the SLA that I need to adhere to? All of that is again baked into a single platform. And we have now started to support LLM observability as well. So this is not Datadog having AI or LLM capabilities. Of course, Datadog as a platform has all these capabilities, but to support the observability into your world of AI, chat ops, agentic AI, is something that Datadog can also help you understand, right? For example, I'm writing a prompt. Do I get a right response or not? What's the quality of my response? Is it hallucinating, right? How many tokens have been consumed? All of that piece of observability is something that is part of Datadog. And of course, the world of observability has lived its time outside of the sphere of security, right? So traditionally, security was thought as a separate topic or a separate team used to run it, and still it happens in a lot of organizations. But with the advent of DevSecOps, right, the security layer coming between dev and operations is something that Datadog is also now supporting, right? So whether it is your cloud posture management, whether it is your application security management, identifying a key vulnerability in real time, Datadog can help you do it. Blocking a malicious SQL injection attack or any malicious activity happening on your application layer is something that Datadog can also help you block in real time, right? Not just be aware about something bad is happening, but also the intent of automating that particular layer and blocking it all through. The AI ops with Datadog that you see here, right? So because we have the advantage of being a single data model, we can run AI ops across length and breadth of within your organization, which means whether it's infrastructure, identifying anomalies in your infrastructure, identifying anomalies in your applications, identifying anomalies in your logs, right? So, for example, there was a service which started to go bad or rogue with 400 errors, right? Now, suddenly that trend is picking up. You may receive an alert, right? But Datadog can help you synthesize this is happening because of a particular problem in a code, right? So we can do that correlation on your behalf using AI that is built on top of the platform, right? And again, this is a completely automated manner. We do have booths outside, so if you have any questions and you're wondering that, okay, this sounds way too magical or good to be true, I would recommend you, or rather encourage you to please visit on our booth and we can show this live in action. Now, this is an interesting slide. Why? Because the center three pillars, right, that you see, monitor, operate, optimize, this is typically where 90% of us today operate in, right? We are trying to look at one system. We are trying to ensure that that system uptime is higher. We are trying to ensure that the systems that are running our applications are resilient in nature. However, now is the time to also look at different approaches, right? One of the approaches is shifting left, bringing the developers into the mainstream observability. How are they writing code, right? Are they writing quality code? Is the pipeline that they are pushing code healthy enough? If the pipeline jobs are failing, why are they failing, right? All of that is something that Datadog can help you in, as part of our single platform. Now moving to the right or shifting right, bringing the business KPIs into the perspective, right? What does it mean for my business to have 40% more latency? Does it affect my revenue directly? Does it affect my users directly? If yes, how many users are getting affected in real time, right? So trying to understand the implication of not having a good observability experience on your business, right? So that is something that Datadog can also help you synthesize and understand. I would not go into the depth of the platform offering, as you can see here, right? So under software delivery, security, analysis, cloud service management, Datadog has a suite of products within that single platform for you to take advantage of. And it doesn't matter where you are in the path of observability today, right? So you probably are sorted with, let's say, APM. I'm done with APM. I have all the key pieces of APM working, right? But then you may be missing that security correlation with APM, or you may be missing log correlation with APM, right? So that is something that Datadog is here to solve, the problem of correlation and context. Now you must be wondering, how do we do it, right? I've kind of spilled the beans by telling you that we are a single data model. So the founders, when they founded the company, they had this vision in mind that this is going to stay as a single data model. So we solved that problem on day zero itself. So it's not that we plugged in multiple different products together and there's a very loose fitting underneath. It's a very tightly coupled products that sit, or technologies that sit on a single data model. And that is why we have a unified observability, a true unified observability piece running. So if you see on this graphic, we can now have a singular dashboard which can really give you correlated insights, whether it is a business metric that you see here, right? Whether it is an APM that you see here, whether these are traces as part of the APM, logs, infrastructure, all of that is sitting together on a single layer to help you get that MTTR and MTD in check, right? Everybody wants to reduce the time to troubleshooting. Everybody wants to reduce the time to detect a problem, right? Datadog, using its AI ops, can really help you bring that down in a very intelligent fashion and also give you the correlation that you and your team needs. The platform should, of course, be easy to use, right? I mean, there's no point of having a platform which is very difficult and it's painful to the users. What Datadog does is it helps you write in simple language or natural language. For example, show me all the errors affecting my production service, right? Simple. It can help you synthesize all those problems right in that search bar that you see on the top, right? So this search bar is consistent across the product. Anything you want to search, you can simply write your prompt, or you, in simple natural language, you can write what you want to see, right? We do have a chat ops running on top of Datadog, which is called as Bits AI, and that is our conversational AI, right? For example, please show me errors between 9 a.m. and 9:10 a.m. on this particular service. It can go and do that task for you as well, right? So that is something which Datadog has been innovating. I was talking about the integrations that we do, more than 850 or more than 900 integrations that we do. This is a graphic in terms of all your third-party devices pretty much gets covered into this list, right? Whether it's databases, whether these are other SaaS applications or PaaS services running on the cloud, is something that Datadog would be able to consume. And this is also from a context of whether it's a security product, whether it is a log product that you want to integrate to, whether these are just simple chat ops like Slack, Teams, Google Chat, etc., or cloud solutions, AWSs of the world, is something that would get covered here. Most of these integrations are agentless, which means a simple API call from Datadog to that particular product, service, UI, SaaS, interface, whatever it may be, can be brought into the realm of Datadog. This graphic depicts what I was talking about. In a more sophisticated manner, how can we produce root cause analysis for you, right? Why something broke? And especially from a DevOps perspective, we do push code at will today, right? Every day, code changes are being pushed. Every week, code changes are being pushed, depending upon the frequency that, the release frequency that you may have in your organization, right? Datadog can simply address that problem by giving you a very consolidated RCA. For example, there was a quick version change that went through today. After the version was put into production, anomalies started to come in, right? Anomalous behavior could be that 1 out of every 6 transactions are failing, or significant number of transactions have started to fail. Datadog can instantly identify that using its intelligent AIOps algorithms. It's not rather AI, but ML-based algorithms, and quickly understand which particular service is affected. Because of the service, how many users are getting affected. Because of the service that is affected, how many other dependent services are getting affected, right? So for example, if it's a database query, which is the cause, which is a heavy query, which is taking probably more than 500 ms or maybe a second to respond, and because of which your front-end services are getting timed out. Datadog can instantly tell you, this is a long-running query, or this is the root cause of this particular problem, and also recommend that you can tone this query down or you can lighten this query, right? So we can complete that circle for you by helping you visualize, identify, and solve the problem. This is a glimpse of all the AI capabilities into the product, right? Now, when I say about product, it is part of our Datadog platform. For example, if you're just concentrated on infrastructure monitoring, right? Hey, Saurabh, I just want to observe my infrastructure elements. I have serverless applications, I have containers, I have Docker instances running elsewhere, I have ECS, I have good old virtual machines, bare metal servers. We would still be able to give you proactive alerts only on the basis of that infrastructure monitoring, right? Tomorrow you say that, okay, Saurabh, I now want to go ahead with APM. I now want to have a true observability of my entire application stack running on these infrastructure elements. We can again bring in proactive root cause analysis, error tracking, third-party outages into the realm, right? And so on forth. You can identify whether it is a security area that you're concerned about, log management that you're concerned about, or overall platform. Datadog will have intelligence built in each of these spheres. And of course, security is something which is very important, and DevSecOps, as the name suggests, is quite evident in the nature of business that we're doing today, right? And that is where, this is again a quick view in terms of how we can help you block certain malicious actors from accessing your systems in real time through the common platform, right? So all the UIs that you've seen here, the trailers that you've seen here, is part of the entire same platform. There's never going to be a different UI that you have to log into for one part of the use case, and then you have to fall back to another interface for solving another use case, right? So it's all baked into a common platform. Now, what do we do, right? I mean, how does Datadog really help you here? It is going to solve that problem that everybody is affected by, having multiple tools at disposal, right? So you have a lot of good tools running today in your environment, mix of all. Would be open source, it could be enterprise grade solutions, it could be any homegrown solution for that matter, right? But the only missing link of all of the tools that you're currently using is the context, right? So that operational efficiency is something that Datadog brings onto the table for you, which basically means you have more time at hand to do better jobs in terms of increasing the dev productivity or dev efficiency, right? So that is something that Datadog solves. You plug and play Datadog into your environment with infra, APM, databases, logs, security suite, and even incident management, and you have a single platform to really look at. Everybody logs into the same platform. Everybody has the same context. If I'm a security engineer, I'm logging into a Datadog, I will see the same set of data, which is contextualized for an infrastructure person, right? So no need for somebody to take an IP address from here or host name from here, pass it to your ITSM product or raise a ticket, or Slack somebody quickly that, hey, this is an IP address where we feel the latency is higher, somebody else is checking that, right? So no need to go through that entire circle. Datadog can help solve that complexity for you. And of course, with that, you would have a lot of time at hand for your digital transformation journeys, right? So a lot of time when we speak to the industry leaders, a common challenge is, again, that my teams are too busy solving day two problems, right? They don't have time in hand, because the challenges with the current tool set or current cloud environments is that somebody has to constantly keep looking at it, right? Somebody has to solve those day two challenges. Some service is not working. Why it's not working, it may take a couple of hours for somebody to figure that out, right? So that is something that Datadog would, again, help you go into the next era of observability, which is AI-based observability, right? And also try out these new avenues of, hey, does agentic AI work in my environment? Will it work in my specific organizational use cases or not, right? So all of that is something that with Datadog you would be able to do. And of course, cost is at the center. I didn't stress a lot about the cost. Datadog can also help you reduce that cost. We do have a FinOps layer, right? We can understand the usage of your cloud with the context of applications and bridge that performance to financial data on the same platforms, right? So that is again a gap that we have tried to address by giving you a single platform to look at, hey, this is my performance of a particular service in production, and this service is incurring $1,000 on a daily basis or on a monthly basis, right? Now, is it justified? If yes, why is it justified? Is it being used that much? Okay, I just see utilization 20%, right? Why not bring it down, right? So all of that calculation is already provided to you by Datadog, so that when you go to your applications team from a FinOps, by wearing a FinOps hat, they would definitely ask the same question that, hey, if I roll it back or if I trim down, it will break my application, right? But then everybody is on the same platform, everybody sees the same data, and you can then justify, no, this is looking, last 1 month, it has hardly crossed 20%, right? It doesn't make sense. Or it could be vice versa. A very mission critical application needs always up, and that is where you want to infuse more compute resources onto that particular system and make it more resilient. So Datadog can help you in both the scenarios by giving you the transparency of meeting performance with finance or FinOps, as they say. And of course, once you have a single pane of glass, you've reduced an MTTR, MTTD, which means mean time to resolution of a problem, mean time to detection of a particular problem. You are only going to help your end customers have a better and delightful experience, right? So that is what Datadog wants you to have, an experience of using Datadog. It should be a delightful experience, and once you have a delightful experience and having a correlation in front of your eyes, ultimately your customers are going to like your own products as well. All right, so with that, my time's up. Thank you so much for listening in. And as I said, the proof is in the pudding. Please visit our booth. Please ask us questions that, okay, we're talking about AI ops, you're talking about so many correlated and magical words. Please show me, and we'll be really happy to show. We have the entire team out there. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Do we have any questions? Yes.
Hi, Devendra here from SDFC Life. So my question is like we are using container optimized OS on cloud. Like on AWS we are using Bottle Rocket, and on GCP we are using COS, like container optimized one. But I mean it's an optimized one. We cannot blindly trust it, right? So we have to look at the patching of it. And during the shift left we do SCA or SAST using like container security that we do using like Twistlock or JFrog that we have. Then, getting the underlying OS vulnerabilities and all those stuff, like we have to show the evidences to the cloud provider, like so that they can update it or patch it. So now, in the shift left, if I want to achieve that as a part of Datadog, how that can be achieved? Because see, we don't get access to that OS, right? So how can we solve that problem? Because AWS will not answer it or take it if we don't have any evidence. So we have to show them something on our dashboard that will be shown as an evidence, and they can take an action on top of it. Like I cannot blindly trust that OS is optimized and it will performing well as we are expecting.
Okay.
So for the Kubernetes or GKE or EKS that we are using, so how can we solve that? Do you have any use case for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the SAST or IAST kind of use cases are available out of the box with Datadog. So as long as we can observe that environment, we can help you achieve this from a security lens, right? So shifting left has two areas here. One is again that observability of the CI/CD pipelines, and the other part is what you said is the security lens, right? How do we ship code right? How do we identify vulnerabilities ahead of time, right? And how do we really trace it back to the OS or help us in patching? So Datadog has modules to help you in SAST, IST, and other like vulnerability assessment management areas, which you can use it as a proof to go and show, right? Whether using a Kubernetes environment, whether using another operating system. So as long as Datadog can observe that environment, we can deliver these security use cases for you.
That those are ARM-based systems, right? So does Datadog support ARM-based system? And because we don't get access to that OS, we don't have SSH to that OS. Okay. So how can you do that?
Yeah,
so we are not deploying any agent there, right?
Right. So see, if it's a serverless environment, right? It depends whether we are using a sidecar kind of an architecture or whether this is part of the code itself that we can inject our APIs so that the data could be sent to the platform. So it's more of an architecture discussion here, right? Which is basically what kind of serverless you're running, right? Of course, with serverless, you will not have access to the OS, right? But when a process is running as part of that particular serverless, can we bring in some insights which are not shown directly at the cloud portal, right? So that is something which I believe is possible, right? But I would really love to chat more about it with you at the booth probably. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Yeah. I'm sorry,
the compliance and the regulatory securities concerns, like how you are addressing it.
Okay, so we do have modules of, let's say, I think this question is predominantly from a log standpoint, right? So we do have ways and means to redact information at source itself to make you compliant with compliances, right? GDPR, HIPAA, or any PII governance that may be affecting your business. So Datadog has ways and means, and the beauty about the platform is that we can do it at the source. So we can do all the nitty-gritties of redacting, replacing maybe a credit card information or replacing a name, email address, phone numbers, any kind of PII data, at the source itself, so that the data is not even sent outside your premise, right? So we have all those ways and means to help you stay in compliance.
Yeah, hi, Abhishek here from Bandhan AMC. So can you just give us more insights on zero sampling rates? And my second question to you is in the RAM monitoring, okay, is there any limit rates that is set for users that up to this limits we can have the session replace or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, both are flexible with Datadog. So when you say zero sampling, you mean 100% of the traces are going to get covered, right? Yeah, of course, you can do that with Datadog, and the granularity is also flexible. So you can collect it at a 1 second granularity as well, right? So the traces could get collected in real time and could be analyzed in real time, and the 100% of the traces could be covered, right? Same is with RAM, right? So with RAM, typically there is a sampling based approach that we typically take. But if you want to have like a 100% sample and also session replays on top of that, which means you can now see in a visual manner what the user journey was, like as a simply recording, that is also something that you can do.
Thank you.
Hi, hello. Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Hi, my name is Durva Rati. I'm from General Mills. I'm from the system reliability engineering team, so observability becomes an important part of our work. My question is, now the observability stack that you showed us has multiple like features, if I can call it. So enabling them would involve cost. So do you have a cost calculator based on the landscape that we have? Like, okay, I take 1, 2, 3, this is my cloud landscape or my system landscape, and I get an estimate of, how much my Datadog cost would be.
Yeah, we do have human calculators. Those are our account executives or account managers. We can help you do that, but I mean, that was on a lighter note, but yeah, we are pricing or as you said, right? I mean, I just want to pick 1, 2, 3. It's absolutely perfect model for you, and the pricing is also quite transparent in nature, so you can get that estimation as well from our website, right? But I think it will be better for us to connect and help you understand what is it that you would probably be needing the most in terms of criticality.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I saw that you are sending a lot of data from our system to Datadog. Datadog is a SaaS, and data will flow across internet and all. Okay. Now, like I've seen logs, traces, metrics. Okay, those are fine. But when it comes to network flow, I mean, it's a debug. I mean, it's a huge chunk of data. I mean, so how much compression that you give when data is flowing out of? Because for me, it's a egress cost when it is moving out of cloud. So if it is a network flow, it will be, I mean, AWS will kill me, I mean, for the egress cost. So how can we optimize when data in transit over the internet, how much compression that we are getting so that we can optimize over the cost? How can we, send only contextual data rather than sending junk across the network so that the filtering can be happened on our cloud? That filtering will done, and then it will just send those chunks or required data to Datadog so that the contextual observability can be done, taken it to the next level.
Right. So there are, I would say, 3 parts to my answer. One is we do have private link support, right, for specific cloud providers, where this egress cost is 0 at the end of the day, right? So everything is through the AWS backbone, and using the private link, you can completely avoid the cost. Second is if it doesn't support in a particular environment, like you have cross region, etc. There we automatically do compression. We can also bring in sampling, right? So that we only sample the most critical elements, like, well, let's say errors based approach, right? And to that part, also help understand what are the key areas of concern for you, right? For example, you don't want debug logs, for sure, right? Debug logs would generate petabytes of data on a daily basis, right? So we can help you understand this criticality by introducing metadata called tags. So using the tagging structure, we can help synthesize and filter the most critical elements that needs to be sent out. So we have like a couple of areas through which we can help you reduce that egress cost. Yeah, this question there. Somebody can pass on the mic.
Hi, this is Siddharth from our group. So many times we have this difficulty wherein certain metrics are not available at the Datadog. For example, we are searching for a metric related to spot fleet instances, wherein I need to have exact number of spot instances at a given point of time. We have certain metrics, but that is not resolving my requirement as of now. So is there any feature request kind of thing which we can put towards Datadog in such cases?
Absolutely. We have a concept of FRs, right, wherein we can help you write that FR to our product team, and usually it's quite fast. I mean, being an agile company at this scale, we can hopefully deliver that FR, right? But there is another concept of custom metrics within Datadog. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Yeah, we use it, yeah.
Yeah, so if it is something that we can solve that particular problem using custom metric, that can also be done, right? So the custom metric is basically, for the larger audience, ability to generate metrics off of the data that Datadog is collecting, right? So for example, you have log lines, right? Multiple log lines. That log line has a very relevant data point that you would like to get converted into metric. Like for example, user checked out the cart with 100 rupee value, 1000 rupee value, 10,000 rupee value, right? Now you would want to calculate the cart value, so we can help you design that custom metric as well. And that is where I was trying to lean on the business KPI in my presentation, right? So using custom metrics and other avenues, we can help you deliver that.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello, Abhishek here from Humalogs. So when we are integrating any third-party monitoring tools, for example, Datadog or Prometheus or Grafana, so they are somewhat more complex than the native cloud monitoring tool. So like we are having projects on GCP and we are using GCP native monitoring. So it's very easy to integrate the GCP monitoring tool. So how hard the Datadog to integrate in our system?
I think I can bet on the complexity. It will be simpler than the cloud native tool, because at the end of the day, this is what we do, right? And a single agent architecture is what we follow. So whatever I talked about, everything is a single agent architecture. Whether you want to do a database monitoring, you will have the same agent. There is no pick and choose. There is no going into our documentation and picking, okay, I just now want to manage Java. I need to have a Java agent, right? So everything is baked into a single agent, and that single agent can look at it as an onion, right? That's the best analogy I can come up with. So today you just want to have infra monitored through that agent. You just enable that infra monitoring. Tomorrow you want to have, let's say, Java APM enabled. You just peel that layer and the same agent will deliver the APM, right? So the complexity is greatly reduced on day 0 and as well as day 2 monitoring. So the cloud native of the world, right? So today you want to just bring CPU memory metrics. It will work great, right? Maybe to an extent an APM, probably, I mean, I'm not sure it will work to that extent or not, but the complexity starts to come in on other areas. Can you use the same for databases? No. Can you use the same for bringing logs? No, right? So that ecosystem is quite different. Datadog has a very simplified approach, a single agent architecture to manage your entire observability need.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Do we have more time to take up questions or?
Last 2 questions.
Yeah.
So you talked about AI here, that you're integrating AI with your tool. What is the model and where it is developed, where it is located? Is it something that Datadogs had built? What model that you're using? And how it will be effective in case of a internet gapping environment where you don't have any access to the environment, internet, and your environment is completely isolated? And what is its benefit in terms of security standpoints?
Okay. So from a platform security standpoint, ours is a SaaS platform, which means we are adhering to all the right standards that any SaaS vendor would adhere to, SOC compliance or any kind of data platform security compliances, right? So that is something which is also out there on our documentation, right? We have a Datadog Trust Center where we publish all these certifications that Datadog earns as part of its SaaS platform, right? The AI model, right, is definitely built in-house, right? So we have a in-house engineering team, right? So Datadog, as I think Sandeep mentioned in his opening note, that we put in 30% of our revenue back into R&D, right? Which means we have a larger engineering team than most of our competitors, right? So which means we are doing a lot of in-house engineering work, including in the line of AIs. So we have our own model. I'm not sure exactly which model we may have, but we have our own in-house model, and that is where we basically take care of the entire flow of things from an AI perspective.
So, I mean, first question is like, if the Datadog can handle, or we can implement Datadog on premises where we don't have anything isolated environment, right? Where it doesn't connect to any network because you said it is a SaaS model that you have. So is it possible to implement Datadog in the bare metal or the on-premises environment?
No.
No?
We have a SaaS offering, and the reason for having a SaaS offering is to be able to bring out newer features which mean better for your businesses, right? So that rate of innovation is accelerated when we have a SaaS platform because we can then bring in a lot of new innovations and give you the right ROI of your investments into the product, right? So that is where I feel the SaaS is the future, and with Datadog, yes, of course, there's no on-prem installation.
Like, and can we monitor the private cloud environment as well?
Yeah, we can. The observability is with hybrid cloud. Datadog as a platform will always be SaaS, right, till today. And you can manage your Oracles of the world, VMwares of the world, your bare metals of the world, right? So all of the legacy systems is something that IBMs of the world, for that matter, is something that you can observe through Datadog, not just the cloud suite. So if you have a multi-cloud, hybrid cloud kind of a use case, you have applications sitting across different areas of your data center, cloud, containers, serverless, etc. Datadog can still be that platform to bring all of the value that I've discussed.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for the wonderful session. Datadog has the booth outside if anybody would like to connect with them, so you can ask more questions. Further, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Kapil Singhal, VP Data and Analytics at Vodafone Idea Limited, to do the honors. Can we have a big round of applause?